A few years back now, you may remember this weird hysteria of maybe your grandma showing up with a big box of these old Disney clamshell VHSs saying, "We hit the jackpot!" A post on Facebook said they're worth hundreds, thousands of dollars. Yes, those infamous Black Diamond Disney VHS tapes that we all grew up with. eBay listings of these tapes were having sold, complete auctions pricing them in the thousands. What? Anyone at all who was even the slightest bit familiar with VHS knew right off the bat that this was a hoax. You can't even get rid of these things. These filthy egg carton, germ-infested Disney tapes, even in good condition, these things always grossed me out. Even to this day, there are people who still see these insane listings and throw their own up there. There's a lot of misinformation, more than ever, about VHS tapes and their value. I'm sorry, no, George Lucas did not single-handedly destroy every VHS tape of Star Wars made before the special editions. Those aren't rare. These mass-produced movies, these very popular mass-produced movies with millions of copies in existence, are not rare, no matter how obsolete this video format gets. It was always a matter of time before DVD took over VHS, but my family stuck it to the end.
See? That's who we are. Yeah. And we're coming out on dividend.
What's dividend?
I don't know.
Around 2005, I remember we still only had VHS at home, and we went to our local Blockbuster, and they said, "Yep, sorry, we're phasing out VHS," and we no longer had any movies to rent. We were pretty much forced to adopt DVD, and thankfully, we soon got a PlayStation 2 that was super conveniently a DVD player. It was a long time coming, don't get me wrong, but for me as a kid, it felt like overnight VHS was gone. Every home video release commercial started going from
"Bring home the magic on Disney DVD and video today"
to just
Disney Pixar's Cars, only on DVD November 7th.
But you know what the best part about being a trash can is? It doesn't matter that everyone's constantly dumping on you or kicking you to the curb or leaving you out to rot. You know what makes it all worth it? You get first dibs on everyone's garbage. All the things you carelessly throw away. And it just so happens young Junko finally came across a little black diamond in the rough. That's right, it's Disney Pixar's Cars on VHS Ka-chow. One of the rarest tapes there is, and the last Disney ever made. With this tape, I'll truly be unstoppable. Oh, gee whiz, Junkos, that all the scripture on VHS? Ooh-wee. Well, I heard that's one of them rarest collectible items you can find. How'd you get so lucky?
Oh, hello, mate. It's me, Thomas the Tankle Engine. We're not so different, you and I. Both talking methods of transportation, we is. I brought you some knickknacks on my travels. I brought you cars on DVD and Blu-ray, just like you are.
Straight your dumb ass up! We talking about VHS, not DVD, Blueberry Ricky. Get that shit out of here!
Oh, but mate, why that makes no sense. This is much newer, and oh, mate, the Pixar quality alone is astounding.
I said shut the hell up! Get the hell and go on, get! We don't take too kindly to you, British! Get out! Yeah, that's right, it's Cars on VHS, a movie I think is just okay. I know it's a classic for some, but even as a kid it never did too much for me, and it's also weird to think like this used to be considered Pixar's lowest point, and even then, I mean, that tells you something, because Cars is still a pretty good movie. It's not $12,000 good, but it's right in front of me on VHS, and this is so surreal considering how infamously rare this is. But why Cars, a movie that a lot of people consider to be just okay? Well, while your gross Disney Black Diamond tapes aren't rare, no, not even the Little Mermaid one with the Wiener Castle, Disney still did offer VHS tapes of some of their newer releases, even if they went unadvertised. You see, you had to be in the know, a real goofster. The online shop on Disney.com had something called the Disney Movie Club, which still exists to this day. It's a membership you had to pay for to access exclusive deals and products on their website. This is something only real hardcore Disney enthusiasts would be into or really probably know about. And through this shop for a brief time, a few Disney films that were advertised as DVD only did receive a VHS release through special request by being part of this online club. Things like The Wild, Disney's weird-ass Madagascar ripoff, got one of these exclusive VHS releases, but who gives a shit? We want Cars, baby! A few of these titles are so rare that there was once hardly any photos or videos of them online, with some evidence only showing up recently. Chicken Little is one years back I never thought I'd actually get the chance to own because there was so little info about its existence. It wasn't always newer titles either. Some exclusive VHS tapes were of DVD re-releases too, things like The Little Mermaid Platinum Edition and Lady and the Tramp's 50th anniversary. Sky High is another one that there was very little evidence of for the longest time, but then videos and pictures started showing up. This list I found on a fandom site of all things lists Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and Invincible with Mark Wahlberg as the last two Disney Movie Club exclusive VHS tapes. But these two are largely considered to be fake. But the most infamous to this day of these club exclusive tapes is, yes, Cars, because it's just hilarious. The last animated VHS release and it's Cars. But just looking at this super obscure and valuable VHS release makes my head spin with questions. Lightning McHugh's, if you will. 1. How many were produced and sold? 2. Who bought these and why? And 3. Where did these tapes usually end up? First, I can't imagine too many of these were made. We'll probably never know the exact number, but whatever it is, it has to be small, and I doubt they completely sold their entire stock. That got me thinking, who would be interested in a Cars VHS release in 2007? Now think about that. If you're someone who is subscribed to a paid membership to get the latest and hottest deals on Disney products, you'd probably be someone with the disposable income to own a DVD player. Or dare I say it, a Blu-ray. If VHS most likely wasn't on your radar at all, you probably were part of this club because you wanted the best deals on movies you loved in the best quality available. Leaving me to believe these few potentially sold copies of these VHS tapes had to be either super die-hard enthusiasts or very, very specific scenarios where maybe it was bought as a gift for a niece or nephew or kids they knew who didn't own a DVD player, but I doubt it. Oddly enough, when checking the Wayback Machine, VHS isn't listed as a format for Cars on the Movie Club website, or for any of the Movie Club exclusives for that matter. And that's probably because you had to be an active member to even get the offer, or it was featured on a section of the site that's most likely forever lost. But even checking Disney's main shop site page from 2007, it's also not listed. Meaning even if these movies on VHS were of interest to you, you probably wouldn't even be aware of their existence because there was no effort at all to advertise these in any way. Thankfully, I was able to find these posts on the DV Dizzy forums from 2007. This is a site where people discuss the latest Disney video products. If anyone would be aware of a Movie Club exclusive VHS, it's them. This guy asks if any Disney Movie Club members could confirm any new exclusive VHS releases, which seemed to confirm that eventually it was required that you had to have an active membership to even browse the selection, with one user later responding with a full list of VHS titles that he received through a mail-in catalog that Movie Club members would get. Faithful viewer, can you now see why these VHS releases were so obscure? Later in the thread he even asks, hey, is there a VHS of Dead Man's Chest, confirming that nope, it actually is just a hoax. And the user that started that thread is so desperate for anyone to help him buy these VHS tapes because get this, his parents won't let him. Someone please get this man a VHS of Sky High. And a lot of people in this thread are just shitting on this guy for even thinking of wanting a VHS of these movies.
You do realize you're wasting a heck of a lot of money on this, and that video cassettes are eventually gonna be phased out altogether, right? I mean, I could understand tracking down VHS titles released in the 80s and 90s, but these are things that will never go up in value, never be in demand, and won't even provide you with a proper viewing format. Is it really worth it?
What an asshole. So if very, very few people bought these, so few that it's now this ultra rare tape, where would these end up if gone unsold? Probably on Amazon and other online shops like that, but I have another theory with zero proof to back it up where some of these might have went. You see, Disney does a lot of charity work. Several organizations are tied or have relationships to Disney, and I know as a mega corporation they're easy to hate, but it's possible that, I don't know, someone who knew someone probably sent a tape or two somewhere where they could actually be used. Maybe things like children's hospitals, daycare centers, or schools, I don't know. If I were Disney and I had a surplus of Cars VHS tapes that I couldn't sell, there's a decent chance they could have ended up in these places as part of a program or donation. I'm just spitballing. And remember, this was an era where people were throwing their tapes away. Not reselling them, not donating them, throwing them away in the garbage. Even if I'm right and a Cars VHS ended up in like a school or something, I have no doubt that that teacher probably threw it away as soon as it was no longer convenient. Cars on VHS's value today comes from a perfect storm of being this obscure special order product that very few people would realistically know about, released in a time when VHS was considered undesirable, obsolete, and not fashionable, not cool. That culture of speculating the value of a VHS tape, that market didn't exist. That was a very laughable idea. VHS tapes were for your grandma's attic, or for your trash can. So I gotta pop it in, even if that means potentially destroying the tape. And what better way to watch it than on a Lightning McQueen CRT TV? Okay, here we go.
I am Speed.
This is certainly Cars on VHS. I don't know what exactly I expected, but yeah, it's kind of neat. Oh my god, he said the thing! And I'm glad I could finally see it in person. I'm not kidding, getting to actually watch it this way made me giddy. It's cool to see such a super late, holy grail VHS tape in action, even if it's a movie I'm not too crazy about. Interestingly enough, there's no previews or coming soon to video, no nothing, it just lumps right into the film. Which is so eerily fitting, it feels kinda sad. It's like, yeah, this is the bookend, this is the end of the VHS tape format. Having Cars on VHS is one thing, faithful viewer, but what if I told you reality can be whatever I want? I got Ratatouille and Wall-E on VHS, oh my god. These are the South Korean VHS releases of these movies. I can't believe what I have in front of me. And the tapes themselves look so cute and cool. With Ratatouille getting this yellow one and Wall-E got this dark blue. You see, in South Korea, VHS actually lasted a few years longer, with some pictures floating around of VHS releases of movies like Avatar, Dark Knight, and so much more. And the best thing about these tapes too is that they're NTSC, meaning they can perfectly play fine on VCRs in America. Meaning I can watch Ratatouille on VHS!
불법 음반이나 비디오는 조악한 환경에서 만들어져 창작 및 저작 활동의 의욕을 상실케 하여.
Well, there is a setback. A lot of these Korean VHS tapes are actually English dubbed with Korean subtitles, meaning I could watch them just fine, but kids' movies, probably due to a much younger demographic, do happen to be dubbed over in Korean.
좀 떠들게요, 아빠. 또 우리가 훔치는 건 솔직히 말해서 쓰레기고요.
훔친 게 아니야. 필요 없는 걸 가져온 거지.
그럼 아무도 원치 않는 걸 왜 훔쳐오는 거죠?
So I guess one solution would be to play the English audio on Disney Plus on your 4K TV and sync the two up so you can watch this movie in 240p on your shitbox. Yes, I'm having fun.
Oh, you gotta taste this!
For something like Wall-E, though, it hardly even matters, since there's so little dialogue in most of the movie. It's perfectly watchable here. As for promo material, you're not gonna believe this, but they got the "you wouldn't download a car" PSA in Korean. Seeing these movies in this way, on a format that was already dead by their release, is just something else. It's the pinnacle of neat. I just like this shit, man. VHS collecting is fun, but the kind that really gets me going is finding those last few releases. You know, things like Batman Begins or Constantine. But if you want to know the sick shit that really gets me going, it's finding late or obscure VHS releases of children's media. I live for this. I gotta be the only one at the Goodwill getting hyped to see Start Little 3 on tape. Nobody in their right mind would want this. Things like Drake and Josh Go Hollywood, Zoe 101, Pokemon, Destiny Deoxys, and SpongeBob the Movie are some late VHS releases that aren't $1,000 rare like Cars or anything, but they are relatively uncommon, and I was super happy to track them down. And like Cars on VHS is certainly rare, but there are some crazier ones out there that I've seen that are a bit of a holy grail, one-of-a-kind tapes that I will probably never get my hands on. Like this Cartoon Network VHS box set that was only available through a Lunchables promotion, promoting the Cartoons block. Now that's nuts. You know, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when a copy of Nutty Professor 2 The Clumps might actually have a tape of Cars or something. Maybe deep in Disney's secret vault right next to Walt's head is Cars 2 on VHS. But for now, I'm just happy I finally was able to touch this one. Lightning! Hey Lightning, where is you? We about to watch Cars on VHS again. You know the parts I got you check. Lassiter soda rum, what the hell?
Mater, help me! He's gonna kill me! You give me no choice. I have to do this. You don't like Thomas the Tank Engine, and that means unfinished business. Mater, do something. He's gonna kill me.
Thomas, no, we're sorry. We like your Blu-rays. You can watch Cars with us, please. Just let him go.
He's right. You don't have to do this. We won't tell anyone.
We'll keep our lip to lip.
No! I have to stay on track.
No, we'll even give you this. It's Cars on VHS.
Yeah, it's worth lots of money.
We're lots of money.
I don't even like cars.
I'm sorry. No.